Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Mike. Mike is from Seattle in the USA. So let's see what Mike has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Hello.
Hello, Mike. How are you?
Doing well, William. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
Of course. You hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me as well?
Yes.
We've been trying for a while, and I'm glad that we made it today.
Yeah, I'm glad you reached out. This is exciting.
Amazing. So, Mike, tell me, how's your day been so far? What you been up to?
It's been pretty chill. Just doing a little bit of working from home, a little bit of not working from home. Yeah, it's been really chill. It's about noon here, so lunch is coming up. Just a normal day.
Amazing. So tell me, where are you from?
I'm originally from Michigan, but I moved out to Washington about 10 years ago, and then to Seattle 4 years ago, where I currently am.
And why the move from Michigan to Washington?
Long story short, just needed a big change of scenery. I'd grown up in Michigan my whole life and hadn't had the chance to move elsewhere. But there were some friends who I met in school who said, hey, we see that you need a little bit of a refresh or restart. Why don't you come join us? So that's what I did.
And what's the best part of living in Seattle?
Oh, there's so many good things. I would say the proximity to just natural beauty. As soon as you leave the city, I mean, even in the city, there are so many green spaces. There's Mount Rainier out in the distance, and good hikes are an hour or less away. So that's what I like most about Seattle, I think.
And you see yourself living for a long while?
In Seattle, yeah, definitely. I don't see myself kind of moving anywhere else in the near future.
And what do you do for a living, Mike?
So I am an executive assistant at Amazon. I work with two directors, both focused in the recruiting side of things. It's a pretty interesting team to be on because if our products go down, then Amazon can't hire anybody. So it's always fast paced, keeps me on my toes, and I've been enjoying it so far.
So tell me a little bit about your job. Tell me about your daily base. What's your job itself?
I think in a nutshell, my job is to work with directors to make sure that their lofty goals kind of find their way to on the ground planning on a quarterly, monthly, weekly basis. I am the person who controls their time. So if anyone wants to meet with them or they want to meet with anyone else, it goes through me. So calendar Tetris is a thing. I'm often moving meetings here and there and trying to wrangle the cats. But that's it in a nutshell.
Amazing. Okay, Mike, so before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, I would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself?
Something interesting about myself. Like weird interesting or just interesting?
Both.
Both. Okay. Well, one thing that I'm super excited about is Amazon Prime is releasing a Lord of the Rings series coming up in September. And I am a Lord of the Rings maniac. In middle school, I learned Elvish and Dwarvish, and I learned to write it and everything. So I'm super excited about that. And yeah, very much consider myself a nerd in that respect.
I remember watching The Lord of the Rings. I think was the last movie when they had this big battle between, you know what I mean? Those, oh my God, that for me was the best. When I watched those movies, I'm just waiting for the big battle between them. It's just like so exciting, isn't it? Oh my God.
Very epic.
It's amazing. I love it. And I was already living in London actually when I watched it, and I was like, oh my God, I watched like at least 5 times the last movie, at least.
Yes. Yes, I love the Lord of the Rings main series. The Hobbit was a little bit okay for me. But I'm really excited about this Amazon series because they're doing material that hasn't really been covered yet in a big way in cinema. So I'm super excited.
Wow, amazing. Very good. Mike, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yes, I'm ready to join on the journey. Let's get in that magic box.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So, this is my best friend. Full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to get a bit in the mood before the first question. Let's
sure thing.
Okay, Mike. So, oh yes, let's dance. Before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, okay, you don't want to answer, always can change. Okay, it's all very friendly, right?
Sure thing.
First question for you is, what bad habits do you wish you could stop?
Ooh, bad habits. I would say late night eating. It is too easy for me when I'm watching a show or something and it's like 9 p.m. to go grab a snack and just tear through it without even thinking. So I think that's one habit I would break.
Welcome to the club. I'm exactly the same. Sometimes if I go to bed, sometimes if I see something or if I just think about something, I just grab it and eat it. It's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible.
Yeah.
But it tastes so good that during this time as well. It's like, oh my God, no, I cannot sleep if I don't have it.
I know. It's the worst.
Say that. Do you like cooking?
I actually am terrible at cooking. I've done those pre-packaged meals where they like ship you ingredients and you get to make it on your own. And it never looks like the picture. It always just looks so sad. I am someone who, if I am with a partner, I will happily be the person to always clean the dishes, clean the kitchen. I will do that without a complaint. But cooking, not so much.
And what's your favorite dish?
Ooh, I love chicken fettuccine Alfredo. It's just so delightfully carb loaded and delicious. I had it once on accident in like 7th grade or something, and then just immediately fell in love with it.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is your funniest memory of your time at school?
Funniest memory of my time at school? There are some traumatic ones for sure. Funniest though. I'm not entirely sure, which is funny because I was like kind of the class clown, so I should have some funny memories of school. I can't really think of one though.
Did you like school?
It was all right. I was a student who didn't really pay a whole lot of attention. Early on, I decided that I would be a music performance major. So anything that wasn't music didn't matter to me, which in hindsight probably wasn't the best way to go. I can't think of anything specifically funny. When I was so we had an orchestra at my school, and we occasionally had a student conductor. So I was able to conduct once for our orchestra, and we were playing this overture to the Phantom of the Opera, which is one of my favorite musicals. So I was conducting, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm nailing this. Like, I'm such a good conductor at like, I don't know, 16 years old or something. And at the height of it, I like swooped up and like threw the baton like way over out into the brass section. And it was embarrassing, but also very hilarious. And the running joke was like, you're next, like, don't play the wrong note. So that's a random one that I enjoy.
Oh my God, very embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Now you have story to tell now. That's what matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Next one. Mike, before the next question, when you think about Michigan, yeah, what's the best memory that comes to your mind? And the other part of the question is, what's the biggest difference between Michigan and Washington State?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I think one of my favorite memories in Michigan was one summer my family went camping up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So there's two. There's the Mitten, and then there's this guy up near Canada that no one talks about. The Upper Peninsula is known for having dark skies, not a whole lot of light pollution there. So we had the opportunity to just see stars just fill up the sky. There were some shooting stars as well. And you could just stare at nothing but stars and kind of lose yourself in it. No drugs involved or anything, but it was a very euphoric experience for me to just look at all of that and just contemplate how small we are. I think that was probably one of my favorite moments in Michigan. In terms of the differences between Michigan and Washington, Michigan is relatively flat compared to Washington. I've been here for 10 years and I still am like, wow, the trees are so huge and I can't see the horizon. Michigan, everything, like when I go back to visit, I'm like, wow, I can see the sky. I can see a lot of the sky.
I see.
So that's one of the main differences, I guess.
I see. And for you, moving to Washington, was to adapt yourself, was quite easy, or it was a bit difficult for you to adjust yourself to the new environment, city, and everything?
It was relatively easy. I didn't bring a whole lot with me. I was pretty young when I moved out, so I just kind of packed everything into my car and drove on out. It was really nice. I didn't know where I was going really with my career, so that was a bit difficult, but the people I met were lovely, generally more friendly than in Michigan. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the funny thing about the Pacific Northwest is everyone says, hey, it's raining all the time, it's gray and gross. And the first 2 years I was out here, there was a bit of a drought. And I'm like, I don't know what you people are talking about. Like it's sunny, it's beautiful all the time. Where's the rain?
Like you. Okay, next question for you is, what makes you the happiest?
Oh, what makes me the happiest? I would say my happy place is around Cannon Beach. That's actually in Oregon. I love just like going out onto that beach, having good music in my earbuds and journaling. I'm an avid journaler and I love creative writing. So just having quiet time on my own to do that, where my mind is in a good place, is something that I really deeply enjoy.
Saying that, Mike, I was checking your profile, Instagram, and you are a writer as well.
Yeah, not published yet, but I do it as a hobby. I might be doing a poetry book at some point because I have plenty to put in a book now. And I've been journaling since I was 15, so I have a lot of source material to draw from if I want to publish a book one day.
That's amazing, Mike. And what's the inspirations for you to write your poems? Your, what do you have, like some moments, or you just literally put down everything what's going on in your life, connect with your, life at the moment?
It usually comes from journaling. So I'll be journaling about life events or kind of what I'm thinking about. And if there's a potent theme or series of words that I kind of enjoy, I will then go to write poetry. And my approach to poetry, I'm not really a trained poet or whatever. I didn't go to school for writing. But my approach is I want to communicate what I'm feeling in as few words as possible. So I start with this big kind of word cloud, and then I just slowly chip away at it until I find something that feels good.
Will you let me know when you write your book? I'd like to read it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know.
Amazing, amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Next question for you is, who makes you laugh the most?
Who makes me laugh the most? That's a good one. Because plenty of people make me laugh, but who makes me laugh the most? I would say one of my friends, his name is Al. He is a really funny guy. He has a dry kind of humor. We do like telling each other dad jokes, which are just terrible. But he's a very kind of relaxed person who makes you feel like fine to be yourself. So I find that when I open up and joke with him, my laughs are most genuine.
Oh, and he lives in Seattle as well?
Yes, he does. And he's been here probably a little bit longer than me by 2 years or so.
Saying that, what's the biggest similarity between both of you and what's the biggest difference?
The biggest similarity is we're both kind of introverts. We recharge a lot in quiet and when we're alone. The biggest difference is I do enjoy loud music at a club occasionally, and he does not.
Funny one. Ready for another one?
Sure.
Let's do it. Next question. But before the next question, tell me, what do you like the most about your job? What's the most joy of it? And there's always the flip side, the challenging part as well. What that would be?
I think the thing I enjoy most about the job would be when you're an executive assistant, you are often in the room where people are talking about the big picture of what's coming in the next 3 years, the next year, and kind of all these goals that these very smart and successful people have. I enjoy kind of seeing that. And oftentimes those conversations come with an NDA where, hey, we're about to launch something, but no one can talk about it, that kind of thing.
Exciting.
So kind of knowing what's coming before it arrives is often pretty fun. I think the downside of it is just, there are so many incredibly smart people in my job that oftentimes I feel like inadequate or like a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like they're going to discover that I'm not smart at all, like at any time. But that's pretty common, and it's pretty easy to move past because the team that I work with is just really great. They care about me as a person and not just kind of as a scheduler or something like that.
My God, I'm just picturing myself now in those meetings when you have the privilege to be in. My God, it's like a masterclass, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You live there, like think, my goodness, I would make like 100 notes and I would take for my personal life. I think it's amazing to be. It's interesting to say that, Mike, because I always have this mindset of being around, smart people who intimidate us somehow. You know what I mean? Those people, just their look or their way intimidate us. And I love that because you learn a lot of those people because, they have so much to share, even not knowing, they just share a lot of knowledge about experience, and to be around those people, it's a gift, and you need to always be clever because you can learn so much around those people because they are, they are there for a reason, They intimidate you for a reason, they make you think for a reason. So I think that's, oh my God, it's like a masterclass being around those people.
And it's kind of funny because since I work with directors at Amazon and VPs, because I work around them so much, I am somewhat more used to them than other people. So that's a plus for the job, is that people will be like, oh, like you talk to so-and-so every day? Really? Aren't you like nervous? And I'm like, yeah, sometimes, but they're also human, right?
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and it could be around those people because somehow you can see that at the end of the day they are literally, as you said, a normal person as well. It's just, you know what I mean. When you see them like being professional, doing their work, that's where, you know what I mean. You see the difference. But being around them, you can see that they are literally, let's say, a normal person like us. There's a random person. Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Next question is tough question now. What hurt your feelings?
What hurts my feelings? Oh. I think it is easy to hurt my feelings if I am purposefully misrepresented, or, you know, if someone puts words in my mouth that I never would say. Just kind of those kind of assumptions of, oh, like, he's not worth my time, or like he's aloof, because I'm a quiet person, and sometimes that can be mistranslated as being aloof or disinterested, but I'm always listening. I'm always interested in what people have to say. So I would say when I'm being misunderstood or misrepresented, that's the quickest way to get my feelings.
And when that happened, let's say when you feel hurt for some reason or for those events, how do you manage to deal with that? How do you manage to, you know, come along or come over, you know what I mean, of this situation, or to put yourself in a better place?
I'm still learning on this one. I'm very non-confrontational, so if someone were to hurt my feelings, I usually won't bring it up. I will just kind of shut down and just deal with it on my own. That isn't always the most helpful, and sometimes like weird, you know, dynamics can be at play there, because then I'll shut down and someone will be like, oh, does he hate me or something? And I'll be like, no, I don't. It's just I don't know how to handle this feeling that I have.
I see. You come across a very kind of quiet person, calm. You're calm, like a calm person. You come across a calm person.
I can be, and I try to be. Yeah.
That's what makes you interesting, let's say.
Oh, maybe.
For sure. Next question. Let's do it.
Sure thing.
Okay, next question for you is, what made you laugh last time? Genuinely.
I do love TikTok. There's a lot of funny stuff on there. I don't know exactly the name, but one of the TikTokers that I follow has this Renaissance painting, but it's just her mouth, like speaking lyrics to a song or like lines from a movie or just random stuff. And I find that hilarious. Just the little thing.
Yeah, I think TikTok, it's, if you feel bored one day, if you feel sad one day, just put it on TikTok, because for sure you're gonna find so many like funny, you know what I mean, hilarious videos there that it's impossible not to laugh or to smile.
Yeah, there's one also called the Zodiac Boyfriend, which is just a bunch of Zodiac memes, and I'm not that big into astrology, but like when I learned of his account, I like just went and just looked TikTok after TikTok. It was like a rabbit hole.
Saying that, what is your star sign on astrology?
I am a Libra, and I think the other ones are Aries, Moon, and Virgo rising, if that matters.
Interesting. Next question. Let's do it.
Next question. Sure thing.
Mike, before the next question, I believe you are gay, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Very much so.
Are you okay to talk about? Are you out?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So tell me, being gay in Seattle, it's easy, it's approachable, the society is kind of, you feel safe. And the other part of the question is, did you always have the support of your family being gay?
Okay. Being gay in Seattle is great. It is a great place to be gay. I believe it is the second most densely populated LGBTQIA plus community besides San Francisco in the US. So a lot of great people here, a lot of great gay bars and clubs and stuff, and always tons of new people to meet. So I definitely enjoy it here as a gay person. It also feels really safe. There are sometimes if I'm traveling to a different state, I'll just be like, okay, so what is it actually like over there? Am I okay to be me? But that's never a question for Seattle. As far as my family support, I grew up in an extremely religious background. My family, well, my mom and my sisters and myself were all very evangelical. My dad was always kind of agnostic. But I remember the first time I said that I had a gay friend, like hairs on the back of their neck stood up and they're like, oh, what does this mean? You know? I was just kind of testing the waters, but I didn't actually come out until 2017 or so, right before I turned 30. And originally I had my bags packed, like I was visiting for the holidays. And I was like, I feel like I'm gonna get disowned. This is gonna be terrible. Like it's gonna get ugly, but I have to do it. I got exactly the opposite. Like my mom and dad and sisters were all very like accepting, and they just kind of like allowed me to lean in. You know, I have a twin sister and an older sister. And I told my older sister first because she's probably the most liberal of the four of them. And when I told my twin sister, she was like, did you tell Karen first? And I was like, yes, I did. Why didn't you tell me? I'm your twin, you know? But yeah, my mom and dad were very welcoming. I never had an amazing relationship with my dad. We were always kind of like didn't talk to each other much. But the next day, I hung out with him for like 4 hours. It was the longest time I spent with him just one-on-one in years. So yeah, it was really great. There was still a lot of conversations just for my parents to better understand me and understand where I'm coming from and learn who I am. But in a lot of ways there was like a wall that went down, a better understanding of like, oh, this is why Mike was and is the way he is. This is why there might have been some emotional barriers or things that he kept to himself. So yeah, it was really good.
That's very. I would like to touch on 2 points of you just said now, Michael. It's very interesting. The first one is I think it's so great when you are prepared for the worst and suddenly you have this beautiful approach or understanding in a way. You know what I mean? I think that's it's difference. It makes us go like, oh my God, that's interesting to know that I was expecting something really rush and suddenly comes something very beautiful. And the other part is when you say about the relation with your dad, and sometimes you need to understand that for some reason or society, religion, they've been raised or they've been taught a different way. And sometimes we need to put ourselves in their shoes as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes if they say something or if they try to understand things and it's not easy, it's not their fault. It's because, you know what I mean, it's the way they've been raised or what they believe. And sometimes as well, we need to understand that. We need to put ourselves in their shoes because they're not going to take the whole information like overnight. They need time. They need their time. They need their time to understand things. And also as well, in the end of the day, they just want to see us happy and also protected. You know what I mean? Most of the parents are a bit afraid that's how the world's going to take us. You know what I mean? How are we going to live? You know what I mean? How is the world out there? So we need to be always about that as well. You know what I mean? And understand because for us, it's like, okay, I'm gay, I'm live that, but it's the way we are. But the other side, it's a bit, you know what I mean, difficult for them to understand. You know what I mean? So it's a good. Yeah,
that was probably the best bit of advice that one of my friends gave me. a few months after coming out, I was getting like super impatient with my mom and really upset. And one of my friends was like, "Hey, you've known that you were gay for at least 16 years, and she just found out.
Absolutely.
She needs some time to like reconcile with it the way you have." So yeah, that was really important.
Yeah, because sometimes I understand. Sometimes we get upset, we get, you know what I mean? You just want them to be in the same page. But you need to understand as well, you know what I mean? It's not just overnight. The society voice can be very strong out there, you know what I mean? And for them, it's a bit difficult to go against the wave, you know what I mean? A wave. That's the way.
Right.
Anyway, thanks for sharing this.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for asking.
Next question for you is, if you could ask for a miracle, what that would be?
A miracle? Oh, what would the miracle be? If I could ask for a miracle, it's a silly one, but I really would want this to happen. I'm not sure how familiar you are with politics in the U.S., but it is not looking good. And if I could ask for a miracle, it would be for a overwhelming supermajority in the House and the Senate, a packed court with liberal justices, because we really need to change things around here. And that would be my wish for our country's sake and mine.
I had a few guests on the show. Actually, the majority of my guests on the show, they're American. And when they talk about politics, most of them, they say that the country is divided. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I think it is very much divided. The divide is more pronounced than it's ever been. And the extremes are like really heavy. And at the same time, I wonder how divided the country actually is, because it's represented one way in media and in political circles, but then you have, a vast majority of Americans agreeing on, pre-K childcare, lower drug prices, gay marriage. Like, there's so many things that Americans, at least statistically, are united on, that our politics certainly isn't.
All right. 3 questions left for you, Mike. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, Mike from Seattle. Next question for you is, what does family mean to you?
What does family mean to me? To me, safety. I know that isn't always the word that comes to mind for people who are like me. But yeah, safety. I know that if terrible things should happen and I have to move back to Michigan, or like if I need to rely on my family, they are always going to be there. Regardless of any disagreements we have, they're always going to be there. And I'll always be there for them. So safety, I think.
Yeah, I think in the end of the day, as you said, it's down to our family, you know what I mean? You can go in the very wrong direction. Everything can happen to you that you find no way to go or nowhere to, you know what I mean, to find the answers or the place, whatever. But you deep inside, you know that the safe place is there, your family.
Yeah.
It is be like that. It doesn't matter your relation with your, you know what I mean, with your family, how close you are, but at the end of the day, they will be there for you. That's for sure. They're gonna be there, and it's a safe place to be, for sure.
Yeah.
2 questions left. Let's do it, Mike.
Okay, let's do it.
You are a good dancer. Right. Before the next question, I'm gonna say that by my first impression, when you said about I work for Amazon, I was like, wow. Those people, when you mention that, people have this thing of like, oh wow, you work for Amazon. So do you always have that, or not really?
Did I feel that way?
No. When people go like, oh my God, work for Amazon. Did you get that?
Well, it's funny, in Seattle, it's a huge tech hub. So if I meet someone in Seattle and I'm like, oh, I work for Amazon, they're like, oh, okay, cool. Or because we have so many people who work for Amazon, Microsoft, Google, it's very common to run into someone who works at one of those big tech companies. Um, and before I worked there, like I was like, oh, Amazon is so like big and crazy, and like I could never work there. But you know, once you actually get in and realize, oh, I can do this, it changes things.
I see. Through those pandemic thing, situation, the COVID crisis, I heard so many people say, "My God, Amazon." I think it's a statistic. They never been so popular than ever because of the COVID,
Oh
isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Things really took off when COVID hit. That's for sure. And I think we're pretty good at like meeting people's needs and kind of prioritizing like what orders do we get to people fastest. We should focus on health items and masks, those kind of things. And then I believe they donated like something around like $10 billion for like homelessness.
Wow.
I'm not sure if it's 10 billion, but it was a huge chunk.
Wow.
So yeah, they did well during that.
For sure. And they're already kind of already a big name, you know what I mean? It's a big combat.
Mhm.
After it's just, I think nowadays people got used to it now, to buy online,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? It's a
Mhm.
different word right now. I think they carry
Yeah.
on same way
Yeah.
during the
Yeah.
COVID crisis.
And what's funny is when I started working at Amazon, and before I worked at Amazon, I didn't have an Amazon account. I didn't shop on Amazon or anything. That all started after I joined. So it was really funny. My hiring manager at the time was like, okay, so you have Amazon, right? I was like, no, but I can get it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Right. Next question for you is, how do you make friends?
How do I make friends? Usually I'll, meet a friend of a friend, or like an extrovert friend of mine will connect us. But I'll usually set up like a coffee chat at some point. Or if it's like a mutual thing, like we both go hiking, I look at kind of similar things that we enjoy doing. Instagram is a interesting space, and I've made actually a lot of connections just on Instagram with people who are around here. I would say a good number of my friends who I have now I met first on Instagram.
Very good. Ready for the last question?
Oh, so soon. But yes, I'm ready for the last question.
But before the last question, as we were talking before about the COVID crisis, personally for you, what's the biggest positive impact that brought to your personal life? And what's the biggest negative one, if you can share?
Relating to COVID specifically?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the positive, let's see. A positive one is I realized that even though I'm an introvert, I'm not an isolationist. Like, COVID really reminded me that I need to be around people. When it first hit, I was in a studio apartment. Now I'm thankfully in a 1-bedroom, but when I was in a studio, just being stuck in that tiny 350 square foot apartment was really rough on me. And it was so good when I started seeing friends again. I have friends in Olympia, and we met up outside, and I almost cried because I was like, I haven't seen you guys in so long. So I think the positive impact was just reminding me that I need people. A negative impact. I think as with a lot of people, the stressors of COVID and the fact that it's always going, and there doesn't seem to be an end in sight, that can wear down on people a lot. And it certainly has worn down on me and like made me less patient about things. So that's something that I have to watch a lot is, especially with news, is like, am I in a good place to digest this news right now or not? I think that the pandemic overall has made things feel more fragile.
I totally agree. We had, I remember the first lockdown, we have the news at 8 p.m. And I remember the beginning, everyone was very excited watching to see what's happening, what's going on, more information along. But at one point, it was so depressing to watch it because, you know what I mean? What they were showing, I, of course, was real, but the way they put it out there, it's like, my God, you don't feel like even open your window a little bit to see what's happening out there. Remember? God, I stopped at one point. I said, oh my God, no, I need to stop because I'm going to go down and down and down. At one point, I'm not going to be able even to pick myself up. You know what I mean? We are already dealing with the, you know what I mean, the mental health thing because you're locked. And then of the day, you are waiting for the news for some kind of information. But the way they were putting it out, I was like, oh my God, that's something. Well, I just want to turn it off the TV one point. I said, no, I thank you very much. I'm going to avoid for a few days just to keep myself because it was too much.
And learning that that's okay was important for me. It's like learning it's okay to step back if you're not ready for something. And you don't have to immerse yourself in the news to know what's going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Last question for you is... okay. I'm going to skip this one because, again, about laughing, you already talked about that. What makes you laugh? Let's talk about that. Last question for you is, what motivates you the most in life?
I think the single thread that kind of weaves its way through all my journals and stuff and what motivates me most is knowing that I'm contributing a small part into something that's big or bigger than me. When I played in an orchestra, it was, you know, playing my small part in this huge music ensemble. When I was in religion, it was this one specific part, like in God's big story. And, you know, even at Amazon, like I'm just one little executive assistant helping these lofty goals kind of make it on a ground level. So I think that would be it, knowing that it's contributing to something bigger than myself. That motivates me.
Oh, that's a very sweet answer. I love that. Mike, on the end, okay, let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Family.
Love.
One word for money.
Tricky.
Can be. How about love? One word.
Love. Joy.
Life.
Life. Fast-paced. I know that's 2 words, but
Sex.
Sex. Ooh, that's the word.
I like that. Politics.
Ooh, rough.
One word for religion.
Complicated.
Fear.
Fear. Frequent.
Friendship.
Important.
Desire.
Also frequent.
I like that. I like it. Regrets.
Regrets. None.
Success.
Elusive.
One word for wish.
Love.
Happiness.
Comfort.
One word for Michigan.
Gone.
One word for Washington.
Home.
How about Seattle? One word.
Ah, fantastic.
Amazing. One word for Amazon.
Big.
For sure. Saying that, I remember once I was traveling. I think it was last year. I was on the bus coming from another city. I don't remember where I was. And for the first time, this big building of Amazon was outside like London. I was like, oh my God, what's that? What, just a building, Amazon, like Prime, was just Prime or something. I was like, oh my goodness, that's just a building of Amazon. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right. And the last one now, as you're a writer, you've been writing, some very personal things regarding your journals. If you could define all of that writing experience, emotions, everything there, what word would describe that?
What word would I use? Journey.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's pretend now I need to meet your best friend for a coffee, yeah? And I'm going to ask friends, tell me the most beautiful thing about Mike and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your best friend would say.
What my best friend would say? Probably that the best thing about me is I'm a very good listener, and I can give great advice if that is solicited. I've had a lot of people tell me that I'm a really good listener. Things that I need to work on. This is one that I've actually noticed of myself, especially over this last summer. I need to be better at making friends. I don't know. It's just like, sometimes I can be too nervous when I'm meeting new people. And I just need to be open and relaxed. And engaging, not just kind of wait for someone to say, hey, Mike, we should hang out, but actually make that initiative myself. I think that's something that I can and am working on.
If I would ask the same question to your twin sister, would be the same answer?
I don't actually know. I think so. I think so.
Amazing. Very good. Let's play now Mike and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it. You are a good dancer, for sure.
Thank you.
Mike, question now.
One question that I've been asking folks throughout the pandemic is, what's giving you life right now? Is it like what music or book or show? What is that one thing, big or small, that's just giving you life today?
I love the question, actually. Wow, what a beautiful question. Right. It's gonna sound cliche, okay? But I need to be honest. It needs to be an honest answer and what comes from my heart. And what gives me life, Mike, is this, what I'm doing right now. This magic box, it's something that I go to bed thinking about it. I wake up every morning thinking about it. I'm having shower thinking about it. I'm eating thinking about it. I'm traveling. I'm meeting friends. Everything I do. I have the magic box in my heart. I have the magic box in my, in my head. I have the magic box around me, and it makes me live every single day, Mike, because it's something so powerful. It's something so, I was talking to a friend on Sunday about it. I said, my God, I meant to do this. It meant to be to me. I just meant to have this interaction because it makes me, as you can see, I'm smiling. It makes me live life. It makes me live life, literally. It makes me wake up every single day knowing that I'm going to see someone interesting like you. I'm going to connect with someone interesting. I'm going to see someone sharing anything about, I'm going to learn as well. You have no idea how much I learned as well with people sharing their memories in life, sharing their experience, sharing their point of views, their their challenges as well, everything.
Yeah, so their stories.
Stories, yeah, you have no idea, Mike. And it's so funny because I had some, we have our opinions, like in different topics in life, yeah? And have no idea, doing this, the Magic Box, have no idea how much I open up some idea that I never thought about, things that maybe I didn't agree, and now I go like, oh my God, that's interesting. When I hear from someone that I never met before, someone with the way they explain, the way they express themselves, it just opened my mind, and just opened my God, how interesting to see that, how amazing, you know what I mean? So, answer to your question, it's a cliche, but I need to be honest. It's just doing the Magic Box, something that makes me live life, makes me like wake up every day knowing that I'm gonna, you know what I mean, have another interview or connect with someone or people. So that's what makes me live every single day. Besides that, besides that, I just like living my normal days. Like, I'm an early bird. I love waking up morning and knowing that I'm gonna have another day ahead. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna do a lot of things that's gonna, make me learn more and more, and also make me happy. So yes, I think living life. That's what makes me live life in a way.
Yeah, I think that's awesome and actually really inspiring. I really enjoy meeting people who are, doing what they want to do and what makes them happy all the time. And like with you in the Magic Box, that is one clear example. And I find it inspiring, and I know that other people probably do too, where it's like, okay, now what can I do that I enjoy doing? Well, like, how can I be more like William, So that's great.
And I'll tell you something, Mike, thanks for the kind words. And I'll tell you something now. If you'd ask me this question, like, let's say 5 years ago, I wouldn't have an answer to you. Actually, I would have, but in a different way. I could go like, oh my God, yes, I just love living life. And when I was like past few years, I was asking myself, as you said, I also as well admire people when they go like, I love what I do. I just come to this world for that. And I always was admiring those people. I was like, oh my God, I was asking myself at the same time, what I came to this world for? But saying that, I strongly believe that all of us, we can follow different paths and still be really happy. You know what I mean? I think all of us, we have this capacity of doing different things in life and being the happiest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do as well. I can see myself doing things in my life that's I feel the happiest person, you know what I mean, the world. But I always had this doubt in my mind. Oh my God, I would like to wake up one day and go like, oh my God, that's what I came to this world for. And when the pandemic hit, like in 2020, when the world was upside down, this Magic Box like literally started. That was like, oh my God, that's something I'm going to do. So yeah, excellent. So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful that this idea came along, because now I'm able to connect with the whole world and let people be themselves and connect with other people as well. So that's the best parts, for sure.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
I had a great time. Thank you so much again for asking me to join you for this.
Oh, no. The pleasure is all mine. Thanks so much for taking the time. Thanks so much as well for being very kind and sweet and being so nice with all words. You know what I mean? When I approached you online, you're like, okay, let's do it, William. And you manage yourself. I know you're very busy, but you manage yourself to do it. You're done now. You just made memories for life now. Fun.
I love it.
Thank you so much. But before you go, Mike, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
I would say this is actually something that my mentor told me when I joined Amazon. I was feeling very overwhelmed. She said, just do the next right thing, one thing at a time, and that'll get you home. Just do the next right thing, one thing at a time. So that's definitely kept me going for a while.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thanks so much for the interview. You keep in touch, okay? And one day when I come to Seattle, you are in charge to show me around, okay?
100%. I will get the itinerary laid out and everything. 100%.
Thanks so much. Have a great day and keep in touch, okay? Thanks for the interview. Okay?
Thanks, William. You have a good one.
Bye-bye. Take care.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why do you like to be part of the show, and I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.